If anybody has a request, let me know. Could be futures, could be stock. But if you'd like me to take a look at something, do an analysis, let me know. And like I said, Mike, let me try to fix this a little bit here. Do you do crypto as well? Yeah. Thank you, Mike. Why am I forgetting crypto? Yeah, I can take a look at XRP. No. XRP US. What should I type in for XRP? And I will say, because I'm getting a bunch of requests, if you'd like for me to for sure do your request, super chats go right to the top. So if you give a super chat, then that automatically means I will look at your request. But right now, I'm seeing that I'm starting to fall behind on things. What would XRP be? BTC USD is Bitcoin. So maybe XRP USD? No. Take a look at Bitcoin. Okay, yeah, let's just start with Bitcoin here. So let's take a look at, start off on the 4-hour time frame. So Bitcoin here. Can't believe I forgot cryptos. Yeah, of course I can take a look at cryptos too. Cryptos, futures, stocks. So yeah, Bitcoin. I think the key level here on Bitcoin is going to be, again, for those of you that are just getting logged on, if you have a request, let me know in the chat box. Super chat requests will go right to the top. So yeah, Bitcoin right now, that's going to be the main trend line here that a lot of people will be watching. Or that I think a lot of people will be watching it. Nobody knows anything for sure because there's no such thing as a guarantee. But yeah, I think that trend line, if you get that in place, I think that is a very interesting dynamic. And at the same time, I think even that lower trend line even makes more sense than Bitcoin. Look at how that thing has been respected. That's actually, as a chartist, it brings a tear to my eye. I mean, respected it. Didn't hit exactly, but very close. Respected it. Directly bounced off of it. So if this 50-period moving average, that purple line there, does reject Bitcoin down, so if this rolls back over, again, no guarantees, so nobody can say that, but is it valid? Is it rational to think that the price could come down there and then get a bounce off that level? Yeah, absolutely. Any sort of breaks to the upside of that resistance trend line right there, I'd keep a close eye on that 200-period moving average. So there's Bitcoin. Let's see, Ripple USD. I do not know what Ripple is on Webull. Ripple. Does it tell us what that might be? Yeah, I'm not sure on Ripple. That's if you can figure that out, I can take a look at it. Let's see, PLTR, I think is. Am I done talking about CYN? No, I did CYN again on my top 10 list. AMD. Let's take a look at AMD. 30-minute time frame. So so the main dynamic here on the 30-minute that's standing out is the price is very clearly a little bit scared of that 200-period moving average, which is the pink line right there. You can see on this big surge upwards here. That's essentially right where it got rejected on down. That's not to say that this level can't be broken, but that's definitely going to be a key overarching level to watch. In the near term, this 113 mark would have been nice had it been able to stay as support. Because right there it was broken. So at that point, you'd ideally like to see that resistance turn into support. And it tried a little bit right here, but then late morning, just really gave up that in a very nasty way. Ultimately, though, at least it steadied out. At this point, this was kind of wild when you stop to think. At one point, the price was all the way down there. It did recover back upwards. It is now back to respecting that purple line there, 50-period moving average. So that's good. and we'll see if the price can continue to push back upwards here a bit into maybe the 113 mark. If it does come back down, then really the level that I would say is a very, very important level here would be the 108.70 mark. And I'm not saying this will occur, but if the price were to come down to here and then fall down below it, at that point, price has gone right back to where it was. And that's not exactly a good sign when a price does make an overall nice move to then go right back to where it was. Again, to be fair, that would take quite a bit for it to do that, but that is why I would say 108.70 is a very important level. Are you done talking about? Okay. No, I did CYN, and CYN's basically game over, though. So at this point, I think the only people in CYN right now are bag holders, people that are now holding and hoping, that chase the price or whatever. But when you look at it, this was a key area of support. The price is now broken down below it. So we have an instance of what I just talked about in the sense of the price, like I said, starting to drift, and now it's basically going right back to where it was before the big move even started. So at this point, CYN seems to be, now, to be fair, maybe things pop back to life again, but right now, look at this volume. Volume has basically dropped off. So right now, it seems though it's probably just bag holders left in CYN at this point. The people that, with all due respect, knew what they were doing, they were selling into that pressure right there, and then they used that as some more exit liquidity. And then, yeah, right now, just a slow bleed. Again, for those of you that would like for sure a request to be done, you can bump up to the top via a super chat there. RGTI. Okay, well, the level that was stubborn earlier on in the day, that 50 paired moving average, came up here. Sorry, I'm still trying to get things. There we go. Came up here and did finally get the break of that purple line there. And now you're seeing the results of that. I tried actually a late morning, 11 a.m. or not early morning, well, however you define it. But I did 11 a.m. stream today because I'm trying to figure out when the best time to do these would be. And I should note, if you are finding this helpful, if you enjoy this format, hit that like button. That is by far the biggest driver that I'm using to gauge whether or not you like this format. So please hit that like button so I can gauge whether or not this is actually worth my time and worth doing or not. Because if people aren't really interested or aren't finding it helpful, that's totally cool, but I'd like to know that. And that will be my conclusion if I see likes really low. So if you are enjoying this, please hit that like button, and that'll communicate to me that this is a format that you are enjoying. But yeah, so right now at this point, I'm not saying it's going to go straight up, but really looking here, there's nothing else really here suggesting areas of resistance until the 200 period moving average. And especially when you factor in it was a high volume break. So yeah, there's definitely some wiggle room for this thing to potentially make the move back up and do battle with that 200 period moving average, which looking back here, you can see has been a bit of a problem point. Rejected the price, rejected the price, rejected the price. That's not to say that it will for sure reject the price again, but it is to say that could very well be an area of resistance. So you'll want to keep a close eye on that if this breakout does continue. But overall, yeah, definitely nice day. Good to see that it's continuing to respect the 1155 mark there. And Arnuva asks, he bought at 1330. So Arnuva or Arnava, what is your stop loss at? On RGTI, what is your stop loss at? That would be my question. Since you're asking me, should I hold? Well, what is your stop loss at? Let's go SOC. Not a huge fan of this one right now. Reason being, so if we draw that and then do this. So that is a rising wedge pattern, which is bearish, which suggests a pullback. Now, a pullback's not the same as a reversal, so I'm not saying this thing's going to, crash down into oblivion. But as far as going long right now, me personally, I would be a little bit nervous on that. Now, if you're already long, that's great. Well, hopefully you're long before the gap up. But yeah, as of right now, I would call this a rising wedge and be bearish in the very near term. Could you please take a look at CSAI? Again, I know that a lot of these requests, I don't even know if these people are here or maybe they left. But like I said, if you want me to talk about your thing right away, then a super chat will make sure that happens. Your stop loss is at 1280. Well, then, has it hit 1280? If it has not hit 1280, then yeah, you should be holding because that's your stop loss. David, it's going well, David. So CSAI. Overall, nice chart, very nice uptrend. I don't know what happened late day here. That got pretty dramatic, but you gotta like the candle right here. A nice hammer candle forming within an overall uptrend. So, I mean, the trend is still very much in the upwards direction. Nothing can go straight up. Again, this candle is a bit worrisome, but what's kind of helping to counterbalance the nastiness of this candle is right here. That candle right there makes things, like I said, feel a little bit better. But had the chart just ended and looked like this, so if this is what things were looking like, I'd be very, very worried about the uptrend. But like I said, that was not the final candle of the day. Right there was the final candle. So that makes things look a little bit better. If this is going to return back upwards, then I'd say main key area of resistance right there, 44.50. Then if the price can get up through there, especially if it's a high volume break, got to like the chances of it potentially returning back up to there. But yeah, overall good looking chart. But like I said, this candle here was definitely pretty crazy. Yeah, AUR had at least last I saw AUR was looking good. Still is looking good, very good. Anybody that was in AUR, congratulations on that. Is BSLK still a buy? Well, I don't know. What is your strategy? If you are a breakout trader, then I could see maybe trying to take a breakout of the highs right here. If you are a pullback trader, then I could see 80 cents making sense down there. These are already annotated because I did this as part of my top. Because one's chance. Are you still here? One's chance. One's chance. Are you still here? Let's see. GME squeezed. Oh, did it? Squeezed. Maybe you're just trying to bring attention to it or something? I'm not quite. Yeah, no. No, there's no squeeze here. No. So there's one of two conclusions. Either you don't know what a squeeze is, or you just threw out there to try to kind of like serve as a pumper to get people to check it out. Is PLTR going to plummet tomorrow? Technically speaking, I don't see anything that would make it, unless there's like some sort of like court ruling or earning. No, it just had earnings, not that. No, yeah. Technically speaking, no, I don't see anything that would make me think that it's going to plummet tomorrow. Now, I mean, obviously it could, but technically speaking, drop down on the 30-minute. If anything, it's looking like this thing might be getting ready to show some signs of life again. I mean, you had this trend line here that had formed, got the break right here, moving up, nice volume, final 30 minutes of the day. So no, I don't see anything that would make me think PLTR is going to plummet tomorrow. Let's see. Clay, what's up, man? I have a question. Ran into the stock TRNR based on Webull. Been going down 11 straight days. So I got in thinking, is that normal? So TRNR, let's take a look. Let's know on the daily time. Okay, so you're basically just trying to catch a falling knife. Black Mama says no signs of trend change on PLTR. Yeah, I'd agree with that. I didn't see anything that not that my opinion is the be all end all, but I certainly didn't see anything that would make me think that it was going to plummet to its death. So TRNR. I mean, if you're gonna play something like this, to me, that thing is getting hammered. Look at that. Look at the steepness of that trend line. I would think that maybe a break of that trend line serves as an indicator. I suppose this sideways action here could also serve as an indicator that maybe the bottom is in. But yeah, you're definitely trying to catch a falling knife here. But I will say if it can push up through that resistance line right there, that still doesn't guarantee anything. But you got to think that that's a nice little sign of potential strength. Coming in to push up through there, and that's a sign that maybe this downwards pressure has alleviated enough. I'm here but driving. Okay, well, once chance. What I do, if you go to my normal YouTube channel, there are these, I do what's called the top 10 at the close of every day. Both of the stocks you have asked about were in the top 10 list. So that's why both CYN and then whatever that other one, BSLK, both of those were in the top 10. So I go and watch that. Go and watch that. Like I said, after every market close, I do the top 10 stocks headed into the next day. So based on you asking me about those very same ones tells me that you're not aware that I do that. So make sure to check that out. RGTI did that. Oh, come on. Navra gave me he's giving 15. Man, at least a super chat if you're going to request that many. KDLY. I think I did this one yesterday, if that's right. I totally did not type that in right. Whoops. KDLY. Uh-oh. Yeah. This one's looking a little bit on the rougher side here, as the lower part of the pattern has been violated, and then that opened up the floodgates there. Now, what gives me a little bit of hope is at least it's started to go sideways. So it did go sideways for a pretty big part of the day. But this sideways does not mean the price is done going down. It just means that it's a little bit more rational to think that it could be going down, right? If the price was doing something like this, and then I'm saying, hey, it's looking like this could be the bottom, you all would totally not be crazy. Be like, what is this guy talking about? The price is literally going straight down. Why would he think that this could be the bottom? But in this situation, it's not going straight down, right? It has at least started to go sideways. So that is a good sign. Still a lot of work that needs to be done, but at least it's alleviated. But you also got to be careful about this. The question is, has everybody just stopped caring about it already? Yesterday, clearly, a lot of people cared about it. Look at all that volume. But now, barely any volume. Does anybody even care about this thing anymore? That's a very legitimate concern right now. But yeah, the sideways action presents a little bit of hope. LCID. Again, for anybody that's new or has just logged on, if you'd like for me to do a request, or if you have a request, just put it in there. Super chat requests, go to the top, and I'll for sure do them. LCID, wow. Very nice looking chart here. Very, very nice. 30-minute, just beautiful pattern here. So there's our resistance. There's a support. And then just so we can make the pattern easiest to see. Resistance, support, big move up. For you golfers, I'll make it real visual for you. Golf hole down there. Classic bull pennant pattern. So if you are bullish, it's hard to find anything that to not really like about this one. Now, I should be clear, just because something's a bullish pattern does not mean for sure guaranteed it's going to go up. But if I was a short, I'd be very nervous on this one right now because this is a nice pattern that has formed. So yeah, LCID is looking good. TEM. That's funny. Almost like we planned it. I'm just going to repeat myself very quickly. Very nice looking chart. We have ourselves another, at least in my estimation, bull pennant pattern. So resistance, support, nice move up, golf hole down here. I think I did this one yesterday. That's where that red line is coming from. So it did indeed break that level that I mapped out in one of yesterday's live trades, or not live trades, but live analysis videos, and up it went. So yeah, definitely a very, very nice move there, and now a bull pennant pattern. So as I just said for LCID, if I was a short right now, I'd be pretty nervous. But just really to reiterate, just because there's a bullish pattern doesn't mean the price is for sure going to go up. But yeah. MTNB. All right, this must be a very low volume one because the 30-minute looks like absolute garbage. So let's try the daily time frame. MTNB, I'm assuming the person that asked, you've been probably stuck in this one for a while. That would be my assumption. I don't know that for sure, but this is very low volume. It's not really doing anything. It seems to just kind of be chopping around sideways. I enjoyed your futures class and really enjoying watching you trade futures live to see how the platform works. Great. Thank you. I'm glad. About time we get some futures people in here. Have you done anything in futures yet, Dag B? Not make sure you go about the prop firm way. That's definitely going to be the safest way to do it and the most cost-effective way to do it. But yeah, MTNB, I will say, right here seems to be kind of the golden goose. If there's going to be any chance that this thing reclaims some momentum and maybe starts to set off, bring in more eyeballs of people that are interested, I think that's the trend line that it's going to have to break. Because if I put myself in other people's shoes, and I mean, obviously feel free to disagree, but I mean, as long as it's down below that line, then there's nothing really to get excited about from a technical standpoint. But if it can get up through that line, well then yeah, that's where things start to get, okay, all right, what's going on here? Let's see what happens. But until that occurs, MTNB can't say that there's a whole lot of excitement going on it right now. Looking to see how you do it first. Looking to see what strategies you employ. Okay, well, I want to be very clear. Like, if you think you're going to get all that from my live trade videos on YouTube, you're not. That stuff is so surface deep. So please, please, please don't think that like you're not learning anything. I understand you may think that you're learning some things and maybe there's like some small nooks and crannies, but that stuff is very surface deep. So please be careful with that approach. CRWD. I have one question about, hey, good, I'll take a future. For take profit prop firm, is it possible to show how the challenge works for the initial when we set the account before we are good to trade? If possible to show how the challenge works. Yeah, I can show you that real quick. If I understand what you're asking, let's just do this real quick. All right. Let me make sure. There we go. So this is who I'm recommending for futures. And futures, I'll just say real quick for anybody that's trading stocks, if you're annoyed by the pattern day trader rule, there is no pattern day trading rule in the world of futures. So that in and of itself, I would hope really spurs. But yeah, so the way that it works is, and I'll just take a $50,000. So if you want to get $50,000 of purchasing power, if you use that link, it'll give you 50% off. Which would cost $85. But if you want to do that, the test is right here. You've got to be able to make $3,000. The most you can get are 6 NQ contracts or 60 micros. And the most amount you are allowed to lose is $2,000. So that would be how the challenge, the test, whatever you want to work. That's before you can get to the phase where you begin to get payouts. That is the initial... what is initially required. Does that make sense? So again, if people have no idea what futures are, but if your kind of ears peaked up when I said no pattern day trader rule, I do offer a totally free class, which you can find here. I'll just send it to everybody. Or I'll just do this real quick because it's Let's see. There we go. Futures. So right here, this is totally free class. We'll tell you about futures, how they work, all that. And then if you want to, futures are great. They're great. They're way better than stocks. You can, no day trade rule. They're open almost around the clock. So once we make 3,000, then whatever we make, we can cash out after the fees. Correct. Yeah. After you pass that, yep, you got to make the 3,000, and then you go up to that next phase. Let's go. So thank you for the question. Hopefully that, I think I answered them. Yes. And just to reiterate, yes, you have to make 3,000, but on your quest to make 3,000, you can't go do something stupid and then lose 2,000, because that would be a failed test. Do you do, yeah, I'll put this right here. This is my training program. So Dagby, that is where the details and everything is. That's been a program I built back in 2013. Listened to feedback and stuff over the years. Now there's over 1,000 hours worth of content. There's weekly live webinars. Not that you have to do 1,000 hours of content. I'm just saying there's a lot of content there. So it's not like some 4-hour class or something like that. No, there's a whole lot of stuff there. Makes sense, but would it benefit anything from that 3,000? No, the 3,000 is just, no, you don't get the 3,000 if you make it. That's just to prove that you can trade. Remember, a prop firm is taking a risk. They want to see if you can trade. So yes, there is that, but it's a give and take, right? Because if you go and do something stupid, and everybody's going to do something stupid, how much does it cost you? It costs you $85. So if you go and make a really dumb move, you lose your mind for whatever reason, and you lose $2,000 in the account, you don't actually lose $2,000. You only lose $85. And that is the power of prop firms, is they allow, especially as a beginner, when you're going to for sure do dumb things, I would rather a quote-unquote dumb thing cost you $85 as opposed to $2,000. Which prop firm we were talking about? Take Profit Trader. And that's and the reason we were talking about them is that's who I use and that's who I would recommend. So good questions here on the prop firms. I love it. I as somebody that was in stocks for years and years and years and has now moved into, finally after the suggestion of my community, I pushed back against my community for like years. But I was like, all right, fine, I'll give it a try. And I'm like, man, why did I wait so long? Futures are so much better. They're so much better. I mean, another argument, you just watch the same thing. Like, anyway, curious, does anybody here pay for scanners? I know scanners come with a lot of platforms, but even the fact that you have to scan for stocks, you have to scan and find things, that all goes away in futures too, because you're just going to trade the same thing every day, because that same thing is going to give you multiple opportunities at way more cost-effective prices. Is it similar to Top Step? I was just on YouTube to learn how to trade futures, so I can do top. Yeah, same general idea of Top Step. Now, it's not Top Step. I would argue they're better than Top Step, but yes, the same general idea, George. I was just on YouTube to learn how to trade futures. Well, I put a link up above also to I give a free futures class, George, that'll get you started. So if you go back up, it should be there. If I knew how to tag things, I would do that. Is it possible to tag things? Yeah, all right, pin. So I'll pin that message. Can I pin multiple messages, I wonder? There you go. Okay. So if you check the pin message, you can, that's a class I offer. I've seen also in one of your videos that you can only take certain profit, like you were making good money on trade, but you exited saying you're not allowed. Yeah, that's during the test phase. During the test phase, they have certain rules. So a rule for this would be, it's called the consistency rule, because they don't want people to just show up, get lucky as a degenerate gambler, because that's not actually proving yourself. That's behaving as a degenerate gambler and getting lucky. That's not who they want to work with. They want to work with actual traders. So in order to do that, so if your profit target is 3,000, they have something called the 50% consistency rule, which just means you cannot make more than 50% of 3,000 in a day. Meaning you can't make more than $1,500 in a day. Because again, they don't want somebody to just YOLO, get lucky, and then say, oh, see, I passed. It's like, well, no, not really, because anybody could have done that. You just got lucky. So that is why that one time I cannot go over making more than 50% of what my goal was. Moist Cookie, futures number one. Yeah. I mean, Moist, did you do stocks at one point? And if so, I mean, please back me up. Like, I'm not just saying stuff. Like, futures are way better than stocks, aren't they? I see. Perfectly makes sense. Okay, good. I like when my answers perfectly make sense. Okay, let's go back to good questions here, but let's go back to some analysis. Again, if you want me to do an analysis like right away, because I understand people are asking for analysis and then maybe they leave because you're waiting and like, when is he going to get to it? If you want to guarantee I get to it, then just do it. Request it via super chat. Which I don't even. To be fair, do I even have super chats turned on? Is it possible to even send me a super chat? I don't even know. To give more context, this is the second day I've done streaming, so I don't even know if I have super chat set up. But could somebody confirm? I mean, if somebody wants to send me a $1 super chat, I guess that would be a way to, or at least just tell me, is it even possible to do super chats? Because I don't want to be sitting here saying, hey, if you want me to do it, send me a super chat, and then I do have it on. Thank you, Goldfish. Appreciate that. Okay. So I do have it on, just nobody wants to actually send one. So I guess I got to somehow make it where like people just need the analysis, so they'll send me 50 cents. So I can get 50 cents for analysis. I'm going to get rich. 50 cents per analysis. Should be looking for a Lambo right now. Did I look at CRWD? I can't remember that. I'm just curious, what is a super chat? I've never gotten a super chat. So if anybody wants a title of being the first ever to give a super chat, that is literally on the table right now. I don't even know what it would look like if I got one. Or maybe it would show up in the top chat area. I don't know. All right, CRWD. Okay, yeah. Daily, not much you can do with that. I mean, you can buy right there. That would be chasing. And I don't know if that would be the wisest of moves. What about the 30-minute? 30-minute? Yeah, not a whole lot you can do with that. This is pretty much just wait for a pull. I mean, if anything, you know, putting some Fibonacci's in play might be worth it if you're a Fibonacci fan. Well, wait a second. Let's see. So it's seemingly liking that 50 period moving average. But of course, I mean, I just say that because it has bounced off of it right there. So if it were able to pull all the way down there, maybe that would work as a potential pullback area. But yeah, CRW, not a whole lot you can do with it. Wish I could back you up, but I started with futures about 5 years ago now. Never wish I could back you up, but I started with futures about 5. No, so you did back me up, because my claim is that futures are awesome, and your claim is that you started with futures 5 years ago and you've never looked back. So the fact that you never looked back is supporting my claim that futures are awesome. Hey, Dag, be all right. Do you have a request? Now, I mean, don't just give me one. Give me a request. My first ever, and it happened to come in. Is that a euro or is that a pound? Either way, Dag B. I will never forget you now. I'll always know, like, hey, who is the first person that gave you a super chat? Dag B. George, cool. Thanks for linking the class. I'll take a look. If you were starting over from scratch, is this the route you? That's George. That's great, George. People are gonna accuse us of having this all planned out. But check this out. I kid you not. Let's go to, and I'm gonna link this too because that's a great question and it's exactly why I did this video that I think came out yesterday. So if I was brand new in 2025, I'd do this. So George, if you want, I would say watch this, but I think I make a pretty persuasive case, or anybody else. But in a nutshell, I said I would do futures because as a newer trader, usually people don't have a whole lot of money. So therefore, if you don't have a lot of money, you fall under the pattern day trading rule, which is super annoying. Plus, people that are brand new usually have jobs. So you have you don't have the most flexible of schedules, but with futures, because they're open so much, there's a lot of flexibility. And then it doesn't take a lot to get started because, again, back to the prop firm thing, I mean, you can literally get $50,000 worth of buying power for $85. So I mean that's kind of nuts, but it's definitely how I would go about it. But yeah, that's funny you asked that. That you're making me feel good because that's a fantastic question on your part, and I'm glad that I finally now have a video that I can link people to about, hey, if you're a beginner again, what would you do to start things off? Tom, don't see the option. Okay, well it does exist, Tom. Thank you for looking. I'm not sure where. I think what you do is you click down at the bottom, Tom. I think there's like a dollar bill, or it looks like a money bill. I think you click on that. Because when I put my cursor over, it says, show your support for Clay Trader. So I think that's how you would do it. All right, let's... No, it's not there. Well, then I have no idea how Dag B sent a super chat. Okay, Goldfish says it is. I don't know, Tom. Maybe you have turned off or something. I'm not sure. Let's see. I'm not sure it's worth it to go back up high because maybe some of these people have left by now. But I guess that's the thing is, if you don't want to stick around, if you want the analysis right away, then just LAES. So LAES, do we have the falling wedge? Let's see. Maybe a poor man's falling wedge. I don't know if I'm that convinced of the, So in the very near term, the level that is going to need to be broken through is going to be that 200 period moving average right there. That'll definitely be a main battleground. If the price can't push up through there, I would say the level that would probably start to get people interested once again in a bigger way would be the price getting above and then staying above that purple line there, 50 period moving average. Because until then, there is this overall downwards drift to things. And the downward drift, I would say, officially started. Notice how when the purple line here was going up, oh, so nice. I mean, beautiful respect there. But then when it violated it right there, that was just kind of the leading indicator that, uh-oh, is something broken? And you don't never know that for sure, but it was a leading indicator to at least start to think that way. And yeah, now you can see the purple line is no longer going up. It's actually got the downward slope to it. So that's why I say I think people are going to be pretty skeptical of it until the price can at least get back above that purple line on LAES. Elias, how different futures on Binance crypto that in stocks? Because I think they have different mechanisms. How much different on, also which one do you recommend? Are you asking me what platform do I recommend? Are those SMAs? Yes. Purple line is the 50 SMA. Pink line is the 200 SMA. Maybe my card isn't linked or expired. Oh, Tom, you're killing me. So I could have had $1 super chat from Tom, but his card is expired. Man, I guess my kids don't eat tonight. No, basically trading futures and stocks. Oh, no. Futures are way better. Even crypto. I know crypto is getting more liquid, but like futures markets are very liquid. They're very smooth. They respect charts. They care about charts. There's all. So yeah, they are way better than crypto for sure. But now, to be fair, crypto does not have the pattern day trading rule, so that's one similarity. Poor stocks. I mean, stocks. Hey, Tom, he got it hooked up. I guess my kids can eat tonight. Fantastic. At least one of them. One of the 6 can eat tonight. Yeah, futures are just so stocks and options kind of blah because options are rough because you have theta. And if you're buying options and you don't know what theta is, please stop. Please stop. You are doing something that you should not be doing. But stocks and options, regardless, both fall under pattern day trading rule. So that leaves kind of crypto and futures. But crypto is not at the level of futures, especially again when you factor in prop firms. They make futures just I would say a wiser way to go about it. How would you compare futures and Forex? Forex is just garbage. Now, if there's like a huge event going on, like if the world gets crazy or there's some huge economic report, Forex can have its moments. But other than that, it is just boring, which is why you need so much leverage, because things barely move, which is why you need to load up with all that leverage. And it's just, futures are just way better, way better. Since when has the futures market been around? That is a great question, and I don't have an answer, but they are not new. Now, certain products are new, but not the futures market. But you know what? That's I'm gonna look really smart here, and I'm gonna tell you. But what I'm actually doing is Googling. In the 1840s in Chicago, yeah, the Chicago Board of Trade was founded in 1848 to trade grain. So 1848 is when futures started, and I came up with that off the top of my head. Yes, Forex is very gross. Like, Forex is the worst of them all. Again, it's just because of the lack of movement. And they can move very nicely, but you only get those very nicely moments, like, I don't know, not that often. Not that often. Does your members group post every future setup? Well, no. Because every future setup, I mean, that's like a lot of setups, because futures give lots of setups every day. So to say that they post every setup, no. Are there setups? Do I post the ones that I think make the most sense? Yes. But I'd be misleading you if I said that every setup was posted. What do I think about the MACD indicator? I think it's overrated in the sense of, like, everybody's like, oh, the MACD. So I think it's overrated, but some members of our community use it. Others don't. There is no holy grail, and it's about figuring out what works best for you. So some people love the MACD, but when I say it's overrated, I just mean in the sense of I see, and to offer context, you know, I started the site in 2013, so I've worked with many traders over the years, and many people I see show up and they think the MACD is like some holy grail, like, ooh, the MACD crossover. And again, it can work, but it's not as good as what people seemingly think that it is. Aren't a lot of Forex brokers super sketchy as well? Yes. And Tom, did you want me to do an analysis on something? Because you gave me a super chat, but I didn't see you actually make a request. So if you did, let me know and I'll get right to it. I'm thinking, oh, should I be doing more analysis? But I looked at the title. It's evening analysis and chit chat, so we can have chit chat too. Futures seem so much complex than trading stocks at this. No, now I understand why you think that, Tom. I do. Because I was that way, like, oh, futures, that seems so okay. But it's not. It's just, you just buy. I mean, it's almost, it's almost a little too easy. So, okay, so let me bring this over here. And where'd it go? Why did that just disappear? This is not obviously futures fault. I don't know why it just did that. All right, there we go. Now this is just my chart, so don't let the lines, but literally all you would do is you would come up here and you can buy at the bid. You can just do a market order. And if you want to short, you don't have to go searching for shares. You don't have to pay for locates. You don't have to do anything like that. Oh, it's because, the things are closed right now. There we go. All you got to do is sell to go short. I mean, that's as easy as it is. How many contracts do you want? You would click on that. So once you get some of the basics out of the way, which is what that free class will cover, I promise you, it's not overly complex at all. It's actually, it's very straightforward because the broker's also going to calculate things for you and everything like that. I have to say, you are an interesting person in a good way. Well, you did say in a good way. Thank you. I think that if you're telling me something in a good way, I think that's a good thing. I'll take that as a compliment. You did a bunch already. Thanks. Good, Tom. Can you go through an example of a futures trade? Like in what sense? So who asked that? Are you, when I say my live trade videos, does that mean anything to you? I don't know how familiar you are with my channel, but live trade videos, does that mean anything to you? If not, if you go on my YouTube channel, one of the playlists I have are videos of me trading live. So as long as you do a recent one, because I've been doing it since like 2013. So I don't know, there's like 500 of these things now. But if you go to a very recent one, in fact, today there was one put out where actually my son was with me for one of the trades. That would give you, I'm new. Okay, cool. Yeah, so like I said, on my channel, there's so like right here, I keep forgetting that I don't have to, I'm not like locked into this. I can keep, so yeah, let's just go to so right here on my YouTube, just look for these, the live trade. So like this one right here is a futures trade, or you'll see some futures trading within there. And you'll notice all I'm doing is just clicking, the buy or sell. So it's not like you have to do any fancy math or anything like that. The broker takes care of it. So going back to Tom's part, I totally understand where he's like, oh man, they seem so complicated, but they're, because a chart is a chart. 97% of futures is just trading with the chart. Yeah, there's like a 3% where you got to maybe understand some things, and that's where the free class where I pin it will come into play. But after that, it's just charts. Just like stocks. Stocks is 97% charts. Yeah, sure, it's maybe nice to know what a stock is. Same with option. Well, no, options a little bit less because you got to learn about the Greeks and theta and all that sort of stuff. But even crypto, like crypto is 97% charts because all a chart is going to do is help you answer a key question that no matter what you're trading, you have to be able to answer. What do I think is going to happen next? That's it. That's what trading is. What do I think is going to happen next? And that's what a chart's job is. So whether that's you're using that to answer the question for futures or stocks or options or Forex or Pokemon cards, that's what a chart is actually designed for. All right, Tom did make a request, so got to do that. Again, if you would like for me to do an analysis and hop right in or, do it right away, drop a super chat, and that'll make sure that that you get one. Okay. Interesting last 30 minutes. Look at that volume chart or volume bar there. But really overall nice chart. Uptrend is doing just fine. You can see that via the 50 period moving average upward slope, 200 period upward slope. So that's good. Let's make sure we check out the daily. Ew. Okay. So it makes sense why that red candle did show up now looking at the daily. And I say that because if I put that line at the high from right here, it also happens to be a high from right there. So there was already a track record of this area acting as resistance. Hopefully he did say right. BKNG. That what? BK. Okay, yeah, I'm doing the right one because I just looked here and saw the share size. But yeah, $5,000 already then. But yes, so right here you can see that that's exactly right where it got rejected and pulled back here. Now, just because it got rejected doesn't mean that it's going to fully reverse around. Maybe this thing needs to chop around a little bit more. But yeah, definitely the 50.76 mark going to be a very key level here. We'll drop back down to the 30-minute. Nice little consolidation. So it came up here, pulled back, and now it's just really a question of does this wedge want to make a move upwards? All right. CCJ. Thank you, Chris. 30-minute not looking. No, I don't like the 30-minute. Well, I guess I don't know. Maybe if you're short or bearish, Chris, then you're loving the 30-minute. But what I immediately see is last 30 minutes, a big move tried to occur, and then it got rejected right back down, which is what's giving this upper shadow here. So that's not very confidence inspiring. And then on top of that, to be fair, whoops. So for example, and I'll get right back to it, but the futures market just opened up. So it closes for an hour. And then it opens back up. So right now you can see it's moving around. So that's what's nice about this. I made the comment about, hey, you know, if you have a busier work schedule, there's a lot more flexibility. And here's an example of that. Because you could be looking and potentially, you know, taking some trades. I know it's kind of harder to see because I have these lines, and they make sense in my mind. But point being that it is 6 p.m. So the futures market closes for an hour, closes from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. and then it's open. It'll be open all through the night, all that. But so anyways, back to CCJ here. The other thing that's not the greatest is, where are we at time-wise? All right, I told myself I'd do this for an hour, so we got about 9 minutes. But we have that, which is nice. Don't get me wrong, the price is moving up. In fact, we have a nice upwards channel here. So again, that is good, but the problem with this is when you factor in, yeah, right now, upwards channel. And I'm saying problem because I'm under the assumption you're bullish, but this is all actually good if you're bearish. But what was happening before this upwards channel? Well, you had this big drop right here, which has now created a bear flag pattern. Now, way back when in the stream, I made a comment about how just because there's a bullish pattern does not mean the price is for sure going to go up. The inverse is also true. Just because there's a bearish pattern does not mean for sure guaranteed the price is going to go downwards. But I would be skeptical. I wouldn't get too excited about this upwards move because in all actuality, is this thing getting ready to just do a technical breakdown of the bear flag? Not guaranteed, but I don't think that would catch anybody off guard. Yeah. Okay, well, it's got earnings. So earnings could be what helps bail it out. But as of right now, just strictly technically speaking, I am a fan of it if I was looking to go short. I mean, but you could look right there, try to short the trend line. Your stop is right there. And if you get continuation, then yeah, I mean, even if it just goes down to those lows right here, you have a nice little risk reward there. But like I said, doesn't sound like you're interested in trying to go short. My Coinbase trade was insanely profitable today. Very good. Congrats. Hey, Clay, which would be the best trading SMA or EMA? There is no best. Whatever works best for you. My only suggestion would be you trade both directions. Great, Chris. Good. Well, on that note, then, I would say I would be more bearish-minded for the reasons discussed. As far as the best SMAs, there's no right or wrong answer. I would say, though, that a big goal should be to try to figure out where self-fulfilling prophecies are and how do you get to there. Ask yourself, what are the moving averages that most people use? Not that there's anything magical about them, just the fact that a lot of people use them. And that is where the 200 period and the 50 period moving, I think, are at least good ones to start with to consider. What broker do I use? I use a prop firm. So what you see, I use this right here. This is who I use as, they're not a broker per se, but they give me the broker. And the broker that I am using, though, is Tradovate. Tradovate through Take Profit Trader here. Which, again, make sure you use that link if you do want to use it. Because that'll make sure you get that 50% off. Let's see. Again, if you would like for me to do an analysis right away, a super chat will make sure that happens, and you won't have to sit around. Hey Clay, why don't you trade futures? Oh no, I do trade futures. You must have just shown up. Like I just gave, like the middle of the stream, I felt like a salesman for futures. I trade futures. The tariff sure shook thing. Yeah. All the, I mean, it's a new market too with our president, that likes to tweet, You never know when something could be set. And I mean, he's so open with the press when he does press conferences every day during the market. It's like, okay, buckle up. HEPA. What do I think of Webull? Well, I'm using Webull right now for their charts. I love their charts. I think their charts are great, especially when you factor in that they're free. They come with the platform. So yeah, as far as trading, it depends on your strategy. If you're like wanting to be like a scalper in and out super fast, probably not necessarily going to be for you. But if you're good with like buying and then you don't need to sell within, a scalping time frame, then they'd be just fine. But Tom, see, I'm trying to convince you, Tom, to get into futures. So with futures, you'll just use Tradeovate because you're gonna use my link to sign up with Take Profit Trader, and then from that angle, you'll be just fine. Nice to see you live. Thank you, Lori. I appreciate that. What was I was gonna do HEPA. We got about 4 minutes left. So again, if anybody has any final requests for an analysis, to guarantee that it happens, just leave a super chat and that'll occur. HEPA. What's up with HEPA? Well, it's pulling back right now on the 30 minute. What's the daily look like? I think more of the question is what's up with you trading this? Why are you in such a low volume type? Like, what is this? Why are you in this? That would be my question to you. My guess is, did you buy on one of these days with a big volume spike and now you're kind of holding and hoping? Is that where you're at right now? No shame if you are. You wouldn't be the first person that I've come across that's holding and hoping. But I'm trying to ask, what would be a point that would maybe get me excited, maybe get other people excited? Maybe something like that. Good, Tom. I'm glad you're convinced. Yeah, no, I'm not. Now I've learned that there's a difference. Like a super chat analysis versus one that's kind of like this. That I mean, honestly, the chart is just kind of garbage. Just like, I don't really. There's not a whole lot to say. And there's not really a whole lot of, maybe a pullback to the 50 period moving average. Any advice with my full-time job? Advice in regards to what? Just so I have good enough context here. Intel. INTC. How many tries does it normally take new traders to pass the eval phase for a funded? Well, that depends on who you're using. I mean, some companies, there's really no rules, so you can pass relatively quickly, but then you have a much longer second phase. But I have no idea. I don't know anything about your education. I don't know anything about your strategy. I have no idea. If you don't know what you're doing, then like a long time. If you do know what you're doing, let me put it this way, and I know somebody will show up. Oh, here we go. It's the sales pitch. I'm not trying to make a sales pitch. I'm just trying to ground a reference point here for, but the people that are part of my community that have gone through my program, again, there's no guarantees, but they're getting through that pretty quickly. Then now that doesn't mean that you will. That's not my claim. Just like somebody that teaches you how to drive, their claim is not you'll never get in any accidents, because obviously at the end of the day, you're the one that's controlling the wheel. They can only do so much for you as a driving instructor. But I will say that the people that have gone through my program that are part of the community, it takes them, I don't know. I'm thinking of Austin. He passed it his first try. Then I'm thinking of Juan. He passed it, I don't know, second try or something like that. I passed it in my second or third try because I forgot to cancel some orders out on a couple of them. Which I do have a video on that, which walks you through kind of the what I learned from passing my first ever evaluation. And the first rule was remember to click the cancel all button. 3 people that tweet and move the market: Trump, Elon, Powell, Roaring Kitty. Yeah, pretty much. That's fair. That's fair. Other than Roaring Kitty, he doesn't move the market. He'll move a stock. Are you a futures trader? Yes, I am. I have moved from stocks into futures at the request of my community. They've been saying, you're going to love it, Clay. Just do it. You're going to love it. And I pushed back for like 2 years. If I was like, all right, I'll give it a try. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, I should have done this sooner. And it's also from where I sit as like a teacher, as a coach, whatever you want to call me. It's nice to be able to be like, hey, this is what I'm doing and you can do it too. Because literally, if you want to do what I'm doing, as opposed to other things that, to be fair, like when I'm sitting there day trading stocks, it's like, yeah, that's cool. But like how many people actually have $25,000 where they can get around the pattern day trading rule? Not a whole lot of people. So I'm kind of almost in like another dimension in the sense of, yeah, watch me day trade stocks. But it's like, yeah, but you're probably not going to be able to do this because you don't have $25,000. But with futures, it's like, do you have $85? If so, then you can day trade as much as you want. You have $50,000 of buying power. Like that's pretty cool. I think that's pretty cool. So that's obviously a prop firm, but futures in combination with prop firms are very cool for me from where I sit. Because now I can kind of point towards people, something towards people that, like literally anybody can do. Well, I'm assuming people have $85, but I guess if you don't have that, then that'd be a false assumption. But it's not $25,000. Discipline is what is required to succeed. That is correct if you know what the right discipline is. I'm all for sound bites, which is good, but it's kind of like practice makes perfect. Here's a challenge. Can anybody tell me why that saying is not true? Practice makes perfect. Why is that saying actually not true? Oh yeah, somebody asked about Intel. So Intel, very impressive move here on the breakout. And now in fact, let me just get these lines out of here. Now we have ourselves pretty nice little bull pennant pattern here. Could call it a bull flag if you really wanted to. Nobody wants to tell me why the saying practice makes perfect is false. It's perfect practice makes perfect. If you go and you practice the game of baseball with a tennis racket, are you practicing? Yes. Could you say, I'm learning discipline? Bring that tennis racket. Well, yeah, you're practicing, but is it actually good practice? So, yeah, discipline is required, but it's got to be the right type of discipline. I've come across many traders that think they're being disciplined, and they are being disciplined. They're just being disciplined in the wrong thing. So, whether it's mine or somebody else's, consider structured education, because it's very easy to get overwhelmed out there. So, that's not to say that I offer the only quality program. No. Do I offer anything that is magical? No, but what I do offer is structure. I offer a process to learn, so that that feeling of overwhelmingness is not there. Oh, we're past an hour, but these are some interesting questions. Do you think trading off of market structure shift is pretty reliable? That's like too cool of lingo. Do you think trading off of market structure shift? I don't know what a market structure shift is. Maybe I do, and I just call it something different. I don't know. Seems like future trade is a full-time job, isn't it? No, it's the exact opposite. The whole point is like you have, because like I said, the markets are open right now. You could go and trade futures right now, and you could trade them. Not every time period is created equally, but no, the opposite is if you have a full-time job, futures give you more flexibility because they're open a lot longer than what the markets are. All right. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it good. So again, if you are interested in, kicking the pattern day trading rule to the curb, and, not having to worry about all that, if you're sick and tired of scanning for stocks and you're not able to short stocks when you want to, but if you want to just short whenever you want to, all that, just go to that link right there to get the 50% off. You see it at the top of your screen. If you use that link, you'll literally be able to get $50,000 of buying power for 85. So use that link if you are interested in futures, or maybe you already do trade futures, but you're interested in trying a new prop firm. Take Profit Trader. Like I said, that's who that is. I would recommend them. That's who I use. They have paid, so I know they pay. They have paid other members, so it's not like one of these like back alley ones. Like, no, they have a track record. That's why I recommend them, and why I don't, sit there and recommend 18 different prop firms. Because, yeah, I mean, I get it. They all pay affiliates, but I'd rather recommend those that. And then also, if anybody does want to join myself and other really quality traders, you can check out my community right there. It is not free, but it is amazing what a small little $99 paywall will do to keep out the drama and the trolls and all of that. And it's not $99 per month. It is $99 per quarter. So 3 months access for $99. If you do the math, it breaks down to $8.25 per week. And as I tell people, I'm very confident you'll get at least $8.25 per week of value. So if you want to join myself and some other really good traders, in fact, no, I mean, yeah, we have some good traders. There were some people made some really good gains today, but at this point, I don't need to turn this to a big sales pitch. But if you've enjoyed, if you want to get more alerts and stuff like that during the day, watch list, then all of that is included into that. So thank you, everybody, for being here. Again, if you found this helpful, if you enjoyed before you go, if you like this format, make sure you hit that like button, because I'm still kind of in test phase a little bit, in the sense of, or better yet, if you liked, super chats are nice too, right? Just as if you enjoyed this format, then that is 2 ways to do it. Either through super chats or hit the like button. That's what I'm still trying to gauge. I don't know if this is going to be anything that is going to be ongoing. This is my second time streaming today, because I'm still trying to figure out when is a good time to stream. 11 a.m. I'm not quite sure that it was a good one. And I'm not sure if this is a good time either. But like I said, I'm still goofing around, figuring things out. But if you do enjoy, like I said, hitting that like button is a way to make sure that I'm aware of it. So thank everybody for being here. Like I said, check out those links if you have any questions. And that'll be the last thing I give. Clay at... here is my email, my direct email. So if you have questions, if you need clarity on anything at the site or what's being offered, or just whatever, go ahead and send me an email. I will do I'm not going to make any promises to get back to you within, 5 minutes, but I think I can get back to you in a pretty reasonable amount of time. But thanks everybody for your hanging out, chit-chatting, and yeah, hopefully I'll see you on a future live stream. Everybody take care. Have a good one.